In life, there are only two options: reasons or outcomes. Reasons are not taken into account. People will always find excuses for why they are not living their dreams or manifesting their greatness. They will always be able to point out those details. However, none of this matters. The only thing that matters is the outcome, and outcome don't lie. They tell it all. Judge a tree by the fruit it bears, not the one it talks about, not the one it wishes for, thinks about, or insists on, but the fruit it actually bears. So let's take a look. I believe we are all committed, but only some of us are achieving results in our lives. That level of commitment entails something we don't like or find repulsive. I don't believe that you can't be committed as a participant in life. Either you've made a commitment to mediocrity or you've made a commitment to excellence. Either you are dedicated to being productive or you are dedicated to being unproductive. You are either determined to be happy or determined to be sad. Look at what you're doing. It is how you spend your time that reveals who you are. So consider what kind of life experience you would like to have. I can tell you exactly what you are dedicated to. Folks who say they have goals, want to create a business, or want to do something different than what they are doing today. Once I look at how you invest your time and perform an evaluation on how you spend your time, or they are dissatisfied with their current position, they are dissatisfied, they are unsatisfied. People will claim that they desire to increase their income. Examine how they spend their time, how they spend their time, how they invest their time, and how they use it to find out the truth. People who declare they want to achieve better but don't go to vocational or technical institutions to improve their skills and knowledge, or how they spend their time, that will reveal the situation. People often claim that they desire to achieve a healthy weight. They desire to live a healthy lifestyle, but they are always eating when you see them. This indicates that they intend to be obese for the rest of their lives. People tell you they want to quit smoking, yet they are still smoking at the same time. People often state, "I'd like to stop drinking," and if they are drinking with booze, every time you go in, you will know something is up. You are not required to listen to what they have to say. Just keep an eye on what they are doing. Commitment manifests itself in your life and work. On the other hand, you can make a life commitment that you don't like the results you are getting and that you are going to change it. You see, we all have the ability to willpower. People who make decisions based on their observations of life. For myself, I want something unique. Mama Etusi, a single mother who resides in Lagos, Nigeria, decided to start her own business. I couldn't accomplish it since I didn't have enough money. Her dream was to open a food restaurant. She sold her landed property and used the proceeds to open a little store, which I will call a hole in the wall. She commuted to work by boss. Then when she had enough money, she purchased a motorcycle and rode it for a long period. She's now a well-known businesswoman. She now has about 13 restaurants in Lagos. It was more difficult for her to struggle with Mastar, she stated, but she's countered. I was the one who did it. I made a vow to do it, she added, and I was successful. Why are individuals afraid of making a commitment? Because the word commitment can be intimidating to some people. Why? Because it implies that you must deliver. You see, most people will say, hey, have a look at this. This is something I'd like you to do. And they will say, I'll give it my best shot. That is my escape clause. So I'll try. When I fail to show up, I'm sorry, but I don't have the courage to tell you the truth. No, so I tell you, I say, hey, have a look at this. I require your attendance at the meeting. Why attempt to say this? What do you mean? You're going to tilt in the direction of the meeting. Try to take a seat. You can either try to pull this pencil from my grip or you can't. Either you do or you don't. You either have it or you don't. There is no such thing as trying. As a result, the majority of individuals prefer to utilize that language. They don't want to commit because commitment entails a variety of things. There are no acceptable excuses. That is exactly what it means. Please accept my apologies. If you've decided to do something and it becomes difficult, then go for it. If it's going to be difficult, what does it matter if it's inconvenience? So what is the point? You see, a lot of people said they'd come tonight to listen to me, but when they glanced outside, they said it's raining. The temperature began to dip. It's a chilly day outside, and they make the decision to abandon their commitment. And that is how people act when it comes to their dreams. They do not keep their word to themselves. Let me explain what occurs if you don't keep your word. First and foremost, it begins to damage your self-esteem and self-image. It erodes your self-confidence. When you don't keep your promises, you don't feel good. The other issue is that you begin to form shaky interpersonal relationships. People start to recognize that. They can't rely on you. They can't trust you since you don't follow through on your promises. That's the kind of reputation you've built. Consider how different your life would be if you opted to stick to your commitments. What would our life be like if we determine to stick to our promises? Yes, that we determine to follow through on what we said we would do, and that we wouldn't even say it unless we mean it. If we agree to do it for a week to see what your life could be like, let's make it a 7-day commitment that I won't say I'm going to do anything unless I'm going to do it, and see what your life will be like. Let me tell you something. If you stick with it, if you honor your pledge at the end of the 7 days, you will feel strong and powerful, because keeping your commitment empowers you to do whatever discipline it's required. Whatever it is that you must do. So number one, I recommend that you commit to living in the moment, because we spend so much time looking back or worrying about the future. Many of us are currently unable to go forward, develop, and actualize our greatness. Take advantage of the opportunity. You see, you can't express your greatness in the future when you have a lot of different things going on in your life. It creates a barrier. Let's take a look at how we can start keeping our promises. Keeping in mind what Dr. Robert Anthony mentioned about outcomes. When you stick to your commitments, you can achieve a variety of outcomes in your life. So how are we going to uphold our promises? And do we follow through on all of our promises? We don't have any. You are not going to be 100%. You will, however, have a higher percentage of keeping your promises to yourself. Whatever it is that those things are, if you are starting a business or breaking a behavior that is being working against you, this is the place to be. Whether it's overcoming self-destructive habits, retraining your thinking, reinventing yourself, or attempting to begin to redesign your relationship, we have the ability to do so by focusing and truly harnessing our attention and concentrating on it. We truly do have the power to follow through on our pledges in those areas. So first and foremost, make it a priority. No one will get on a plane. You see, if you assume your chances of arriving at your destination were as excellent as your bags, you were mistaken. I'm hoping I'm correct. The reason you will arrive at your destination more times than your luggage is because the airline has made it a priority to securely transport human people from one point to another, rather than sending you off to Abuja or somewhere else with your goods. So I'm not too bothered if my luggage doesn't arrive. They've made me a priority, so I'm delighted they delivered me. As you can see, they've prioritized getting you to your destination. So if you want to keep your word, whatever you decide to do, make it significant. Make it a priority. Keep it in front of you. The other thing is, whatever you want to start doing and creating in order to begin manifesting your greatness and increasing your level of dedication. And it's a good workout on your aim. You will find something that you wish to do. One action step, but make sure it stretches you, challenges you, and is long-lasting enough for you to complete this year. I made the decision to do some exercise. So I started with only 10 setups and 10 push-ups. I know I can do it without getting irritated. That is something I can do without thinking about it. As a result, I started small. I'm up to 50 now, but I wouldn't be doing it if I tried to accomplish 50 when I first started. So I started doing it in small chunks, and I'm still doing it. This reinforces your resolve. As a result, the activity of actually doing it has depended and forfeited my dedication. So now I can develop and build on that foundation. When I decided to start managing my money differently, I started by saving 5% of my income, then 10%, then 15%. As a result, I've trained myself to survive on 75% of my salary. I had to be disciplined in order to do so. But I began to keep track of my spending. I began maintaining a journal and tracking my progress. So you want to start by finding something manageable that you know that you can do the next thing in starting to maintain your commitment to yourself and having some buddies who will hold you accountable. That doesn't excuse you from the fact that your boss will not accept anything less than the finest from you. People who will assist you in your new level of consciousness and new way of being. Another thing to consider is having a contingency plan. When you make a commitment to do something, there are often additional circumstances that you can't control or that you didn't consider. So you want to make some other plans. You want to be a creative person. The majority of people do not follow through on their commitments because when something goes wrong, they simply stop. They don't have a backup plan. As a result, they are at a loss on what to do. After that, since being inventive, we say I don't know what to do. When we test ourselves repeatedly, and I continually question myself, but Master, if you knew what to do, what will it be? That engages a different portion of my brain, and I start thinking about the possibilities and just try things out. However, many of us simply come to a halt. I'm at a loss on what to do. You are the one who knows what to do. You've got a little bit of genius in you. Challenge yourself, push yourself, create something, and use your imagination, and you will discover that you are more resourceful and innovative than you thought. And the more you do it, the easier it will get. Although it will be a battle at first, and once you reach a certain degree of consciousness, you will wonder why you didn't see this previously at the level where you've been managing your business. As they say, consciousness is what we are. I literally look at myself and wonder how I've never done this before. I'm not sure why I didn't see this previously. I didn't notice it previously because I didn't challenge myself, because I didn't put myself out there. You see, why most of us go through life never realizing how true gratitude may practically transform us into walking, breathing dead, and why the uncommitted life isn't worth living. Why it isn't producing anything, because it isn't producing nothing. You see, you are the only one who can make things happen. It is only your life that matters. When you are dedicated, you can make a difference. When you commit your life to something, people that make a commitment with their lives fall into this category. The people that make the greatest effect in life are those who make a commitment to their customers, their families, and their relationships. What does it mean to be committed? Look here, I'm going to make $1,000 today, and I'm not going home, says person. You are free to turn off the lights. It's possible that the janitor is here vacuuming. I'm not leaving till I've completed it. It's an odd thing, because when we put ourselves in a scenario where we say we are going to accomplish something, it pushes you in a different zone where the universe responds to you when you have that type of consciousness. You will notice how the universe reacts to the guy or woman who refuses to be denied, because that's your commitment. That business you want to start, that book you want to publish, and that dream you have of controlling your future, that ability to create and express is yours to possess. That option is available to you, but you must be willing to endure disappointment and the lack of support. Don't be lonely. Do you have any doubts about yourself? Sometimes you will be rejected over and over again. Go bankrupt if necessary, and refuse to turn around until you've exhausted all other options. Nothing can stand in the way of someone who is so dedicated. The people who made a difference on the earth when Elon Musk declared we will go to the space, and he did so within the decade. That was a promise, and it was revealed that at Vision, people believed it. There have been numerous examples throughout history of people making declarations and dedicating their life to making a change. Today, there are many who are taking a stand against hunger. That will, without a doubt, be a part of our history. Someone made a stand against bullying at some point in history. It no longer afflicts us as much as it once did, because someone declared, I will remove from the face of the earth. The pledge was made by someone. Someone made a commitment to do whatever it required, which is why we are here and enjoying our democracy. If it means I'm going to die, I'm here to support Paul Robeson. There's nothing else I can do. That is how you have to be. Stand up for your life is what commitment entails. It entails treating yourself with respect. It means starting to anticipate, see and realize your alignment and oneness with the cosmos, as well as the fact that you are a conduit for life to express itself through. We became short-circuited with rage. Fear caused a short circuit in our system. We were short-circuited by envy. We short-circuited ourselves by being lazy, apathetic, or readily giving up. Why do we repeat? Oh, it's too difficult over and over again. It's too difficult. We don't put our spirit to the test. There is something powerful, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot extinguish the human spirit. You can distort it, but you won't be able to destroy it as a leader. If wrinkled, man's search for meaning is perfect. What an incredible book. And he presents so many vivid illustrations of the human spirit's strength. So what are some of the things that can strengthen us and give us the kind of inner power that will enable us to realize our commitments and go forward into the future. Number one, commitment can mean going back to school, getting some training, sitting down in classes with people younger than you, putting yourself in a situation where you don't know what you are doing, and that is awkward and uncomfortable. But it doesn't matter, because you are committed to developing yourself or going back to school to get a high school diploma or to get a college degree. That it doesn't matter feeling dumb and wondering what I'm doing here. Setting up in some dull class could indicate a variety of things. It's possible that you are starting to move backwards. You have to get back up occasionally, which means to get back up and not give up, to regroup and come back, because life has knocked you down. When I was working on my dream, there were moments when I was evicted from my home. I misplaced my car at one time. I couldn't afford anything. My credit was in poor shape. In the snow, I was sleeping in my car. I am not going to give up on my dream or what happened to me. They say you put it in your wallet during successful years and in your heart during tough years. It makes me appreciate it even more, and it makes me enjoy it even more. I wouldn't exchange it for anything. It's something I wouldn't swap for anything. The disappointment and grief that I have experienced as a result of maintaining my promises and the commitments that you have made may require you to take an unpopular stance. Someone once stated that when you take a stand, cowardice asks the question, it is safe? Politics in the one who possesses the question, is it well known? Is it correct if conscience or commitment raise the question? And as you can see, most individuals prefer to use the first two. This is a secure position for me to take. They wish to get along well with the rest of our co-workers, to work out of a line to. Henry David Thoreau says a man doesn't keep pace with his buddies. It requires a great deal of strong courage and dedication on your part. Perhaps he's listening to a different drummer's beat. When you are committed, you are dancing to the pulse of a different narrative. So let him dance to the music he hears. However measured or far apart it is, don't expect people to comprehend what you are saying. You don't expect anyone to understand it. Why do you have to do this? Why do you have to leave? This is an excellent effort. I'm leaving, they compensate you. So I'm only a few years away from retiring. Why am I going? Where am I going? Am I not sure what you are talking about? You are not obligated to do so. This is something I need to undertake with dedication. It entails taking a stand for yourself. It refers to the act of delivering. It entails following through. What if you don't follow through on your promise? Master, what if you give it all you've got and still fall short? Or if you don't give it everything you've got and get weak along the road? and you throw in the towel and surrender to your emotions. What is it? What is it and what is it? Many people grow discouraged as a result. They become irritated and exclaim, "What the hell?" And they go back to doing what they were doing before. Despite the fact that it isn't working, here's what I recommend. To begin with, that does occur. As a result, assume full responsibility for it. Just be your own. It's not about making excuses for why you caved in or why you didn't follow through. It's about owning it and facing the consequences, whatever they may be, and standing up for yourself. The next step is to evaluate the situation. What brought you here? What happened was that you collapsed, that you had a nervous breakdown, and that you surrendered. What went wrong? What exactly was going on? I used to go on diets, but I no longer do so since I've made a commitment to living a healthy lifestyle. Then I go to the refrigerator and consume cold food while standing in front of it. So after assessing where I had broken down, I recognized I couldn't keep junk food in the house. As a result, I had to get rid of it. So I had to start making sure I wasn't putting myself in a situation where I'd have to abandon my commitment. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So I start planning how to stay out of situation where I know I will be vulnerable. When I don't keep my pledge, I either deprive myself of something or make a trade-off. If a glazed donor takes advantage of me and make myself do an extra 25 setups, or I go for a 15 to 20 minutes work because I've got a hammer lock on my head and say, "Come on over here." So you may have to deprive yourself of something or make a trade-off. Doing something to compensate. The second option is to start over. As a result, what you felt was flat on your face. So what are you waiting for? Start over. Learn from your mistakes and begin again. Don't write yourself off just yet. Don't make yourself miserable for the rest of your life. A lifetime of being broke, unwell, and stuck in a relationship that no longer fulfills you. A lifetime of working on a job that does not provide you with satisfaction. That isn't going to give you the creative impulse you require, and that energizes you. Please don't send yourself to us in this manner. You are a living creature. Don't give your life away. That manner, the universe places far too much importance on your life. You have a valuable contribution to make. You have something to offer. So what if you make a commitment and you are not able to follow through like a pro? That you are not as good as everyone else. What it says appeals to me. Look forward to today, since it is the most important day of your life. In the short part of life, the very life of life lies. All of existence's realities and varieties. The joy of progress, the splendorness of action, the glory of power for yesterday are simply a dream, and tomorrow is just a dream for now. Today, every yesterday becomes a dream of happiness. and every tomorrow becomes a vision of hope. So let us see if we can just start loving where we are today. If we make that kind of commitment to enjoy where we are, we will be able to enjoy the experience of life, accomplish everything we can right now, and forget about the mistake we made yesterday. Forget about your previous failures. Forget about the things you don't have. That is irrelevant. The only thing we have is the present moment, the present now, the present moment. And I believe that life is beckoning you to do just that. The optimists have something called the optimist creed, which I believe is one of the most positive groups in the world. And it asks, promise yourself, which I like, because I believe that commitment has more power than promise. I modify it to commit yourself. It says, commit yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. Talk health, happiness, and prosperity to everyone you meet. Make all your friends feel there is something in them. Look on the bright side of everything and make your optimism come true. Think only of the best. Work only for the best, and be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. To forget the mistake of the past and press on to greater achievement in the future. To wear cheerful countenance at all times and give a smile to every living creature you meet. To devote so much time to your own improvement that you have no time to criticize others. To be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to allow the presence of trouble. Commit yourself to these things. Isn't that horrible? What a promise to make with your life, to stretch yourself, to step outside of your comfort zone, and not to be concerned about what others think of you, since they are already thinking it. Don't be concerned about what they will say. They've already stated it. So what is the big deal? Decide that your life has great significance for the earth, and that you have something to contribute. That is why you have arrived. You didn't just show up. As you can see, you've brought something with you, and you are on your way somewhere. You have a destination, mission to complete, to implement, perform, experience, decide to dedicate yourself to, and be a life adventure. Look about you, inside yourself, and ask yourself, where in my life do I need to make a commitment right now? Where could it be harmful to your health? It could be that you want to be a happier person. It could be to create a positive impact in your neighborhood. That could be the case. What happened to it? I believe that commitment manifests itself in a man or a woman who has nurtured an idea, a dream, or both within themselves. No one believed it at the time. No one noticed that. They weren't expert at it. They didn't have a lot of experience with it. No one would ever call a statue name and identify them. They never made it to the top page of the newspaper but they had something they could call their own, their kids. Something they enjoyed, and they believed in it, and they just did the best they could with what God provided them with their dream dedication. Shows how and individuals who are willing to give themselves a chance, who look at their lives, look within themselves and say, I know that this can be it for my life. I'm aware that there is something I'm supposed to do. I'm not sure right now, but maybe you do know. Maybe you do know, and you've convinced yourself otherwise. And I understand, because I'm late. No. Everything goes according to plan. I must start the confidence to take a risk, to commit. I was not serious before. And because it worried me, I decided it took you some time to get the guts to become committed. So I understand the struggle. I wish I could say I've been doing this for the past 5 years. I haven't done it. And I haven't done it. I'm simply pleased I made the decision to be married before I left here. And decide right now, wherever you are, to commit your life and let it show in your contribution. Allow it to manifest in what you have to say and any commitments you make. Respect your commitment as if it were your own. Whatever you put out there, keep your word as if it were your own. Do the best you can with what you've got. I do want to express my gratitude for your awareness. It's been a plumb pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege, says Master Caesar. Thank you all for your time and consideration, and good luck. Peace out. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more motivational videos. Thank you.